Now at 10, a winter weather advisory in effect for the lakeshore. Where will the heaviest snowfall be? And will the cold air stick around for the entire weekend? We've got that in our Fox 17 forecast.
She was just 17 years old when she told police she'd been sexually abused by former Dr. Larry Nassar.
The police questioned you, and you had the audacity to tell them I had misunderstood this treatment because I was not comfortable with my body.
We failed you. We let you down.
A decade later, the emotional response from the authorities that failed her.
Several schools closing due to the flu. What they're doing to make the classrooms safer again.
And it's not about just sitting at home all day and doing nothing.
We do school just like any other kid.
An education on homeschooling. This is Fox 17 News at 10.
Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Annie Satowski.
And I'm Derek Francis, and we start tonight with that winter weather alert, taking a look at the current temperatures across the West Michigan area. Coming up, you will see why. After a little bit of a break earlier this week, winter certainly back in West Michigan, with many areas dipping well below the freezing mark.
And if you stepped outside at all today, you could definitely feel it, especially with that wind chill. Chief Meteorologist Joe Kopacek is in the Weather Center with a look at what's ahead. Joe?
Well, more cold air coming in, that's for sure. It's going to stick around for tonight and tomorrow. We get a little bit of a bump on Saturday, but then we're back into the Arctic air as we head through Sunday and much of next week. Now, we got a couple of systems to watch. The main thing is tonight's going to be the cold air. We're down to 10 degrees in Grand Rapids. Look at Big Rapids, 6, 11 at Kalamazoo, 10 at Coldwater. Lakeshore, not much better, but a little bit. Holland, 13, South Haven at 14. Winds have come down. This afternoon, they are up around 25 to 30 miles an hour. The good news there is they're down to about 5 to 10, although a little bit gusty at South Haven, gusting to 23, gusting to 22 at Benton Harbor. They'll come down to 5 to 10 miles an hour overnight tonight. Doesn't mean it's not going to be a cold wind chill. It just means not quite as bad as it was earlier. Wind chills overnight right now running around 0 to 5 below, and that will be the case for the rest of tonight and tomorrow morning. So be aware of that for the kids at the bus stop tomorrow as you go to scrape your car off, especially if you're along the lakeshore. Snow showers pretty much confined to the lakeshore. You can see the big picture here. This is a prime example of lake effect. If you look on the other side of Lake Michigan, it's clear in Wisconsin, clear in Illinois, and those clouds extend out over the lake. We zoom in a little bit closer, and you can see the clouds gripping western portions of Ottawa, Allendale, or Allegan counties, western Muskegon counties, and that's where they've been all afternoon and evening. And I think the wind direction is going to stay that way. So I think where it's been snowing, it's going to continue to snow. Now, this particular band was getting down into western portions of Kalamazoo County. I think Allegan County probably has the best chance of seeing the most significant snow overnight tonight and through the first half of tomorrow. Winter weather advisories through 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. They will expire. The moisture moves away after that. Now, here is Future Track. See those snow bands at midnight. There they continue at 8:30 in the morning, and then watch what happens for the afternoon. They're gone. So any snow tomorrow will come before noon. Skies will become partly cloudy. Inland areas tomorrow, lots of clouds, cold, 18 degrees, but it should be dry. However, we got a significant system coming in for the weekend. I'll show you more of that coming up at the bottom of the hour. Annie?
All right, Joe, thank you. New tonight, part of 100th Street in Grand Gaines Township, is closed after a crash. These are some pictures from the fire department's Facebook page. According to that post, 100th is closed at East Paris and west of Patterson. We're told there are critical injuries involved. However, it's not clear how many people were hurt.
Well, a packed house at Michigan State University tonight. Thousands trying to cram inside the room where a discussion was set to take place, coming amidst the ongoing fallout from the Larry Nassar scanner that has outraged so many people.
The unanimous vote to bring former Michigan Governor John Engler on as the school's interim president, angering a lot of people on campus. Fox 17's Michael Dupre is live in East Lansing for us after listening in on tonight's conversation between students and the university officials. Michael, what'd you hear?
Well, Annie, Derek, it was so unexpected tonight. Not the trustees, not the faculty, not the students, expected such a tremendous turnout. Now, originally they were only expecting about 200 people to be allowed inside the building, but the fire marshal was able to find a way of increasing that to about 400 people. I talked to some people inside this hall who say they estimated the crowd to be around 5,000 people. Now, we were lucky enough to be able to get inside and listen to that meeting, but a lot of people were not. They had to remain outside. Just take a look about how long this line was. Hundreds waiting for hours for the chance to get inside tonight's meeting. The line stretched from inside the Kellogg Center all the way outside of the building. Obviously, a lot of people very interested in this discussion. Students, faculty, and people from all around Michigan showed up to be a part of this. Students took the opportunity to speak out and tell the board trustee hosting tonight's meeting exactly how they feel about the current climate on campus. Many are upset that they didn't have a voice in the election of the new interim president. A vast majority of the speakers saying they do not want John Engler. They want someone who they say is more qualified to fill the job. Others that I talk with say they want to give the new president the benefit of the doubt and see how he performs. Students passed a letter through the crowd that explains why John Engler is wrong for MSU, that he eroded the state funding for public school and higher education. He refused to allow investigators of sexual assault at Michigan's women's prison, and he defunded mental health. We caught up with people while waiting in line today and take a listen to what their thoughts were heading into tonight's meeting.
We wanted somebody, the faculty wanted somebody, and the students wanted somebody with academic leadership, with crisis management leadership, and somebody who knew, had experience with especially sexual assault crisis leadership. And John Engler, like him or don't like him, either way, he doesn't have that experience.
Students feel like they need to have a voice and they need to be heard because the events of the past week or so have not really shown that in the administration. So we just need a show of good faith on the part of the administration that in the process of electing and choosing the next president, they're actually going to have student input of student government, various political groups here on campus, and just that they're willing to listen to what we have to say.
It starts with beginning a conversation, right, with the survivors and listening to the survivors and faculty and students, and formulate a plan going forward.
Now, there were a lot of powerful words spoken at tonight's meeting. A lot of people are still extremely upset about the Dr. Nassar scandal and how it's been handled by the school. There was one female student who spoke up in front of the entire crowd and admitted that she was twice sexually assaulted here at MSU. Many faculty and students that I talk with are demanding that not only the interim president resign, but that the entire board of trustees be replaced. Brian Masalam, the trustee who listened to all of the speakers at tonight's meeting, says that the conversation tonight is a big first step and that there will be more meetings like this in the future. Somehow, common ground must be found here at MSU so that everyone can move forward. How that will happen, though, remains to be seen. In East Lansing, Michael Dupre, Fox 17 News.
All right, Michael, quite a day there. Meanwhile, today, a Lansing Area Police Department admitting that it dropped the ball in its investigation into Dr. Larry Nassar.
A girl reported the former sports doctor years ago, but at the time, officials chose to believe the doctor instead of her. Fox 17's Darren Cunningham has more on how they're now apologizing for what happened.
This police report is from 2004, and it shows Breanne Randall reported exactly what we've heard survivors of Larry Nassar detail in court over the past few weeks. And like others who spoke out over the years, she says her cries for help were also ignored.
We failed you. We let you down.
A public apology from Meridian Township officials to Breanne Randall Gay on Thursday, coming more than 13 years after she reported Larry Nassar to Township Police after he molested her. The department admits it botched the investigation.
I'd like personally to think that one apology is enough and that everything is better, but that's not the case.
We know we can be better. We will be better. And we are sorry that we were manipulated and deceived back in 2004.
Township officials say Nassar talked a good game, showing officers these PowerPoint slides of his routine procedure. They say Detective Andrew McGrady, who wasn't at the press conference but still works for the department, ended up believing Nassar over the then 17-year-old. Breanne, who's now 30 years old, faced her abuser at his Ingham County Court sentencing and joined township officials via video conference Thursday.
I was disappointed that there were no charges filed. I felt like my complaint was ignored. I
I felt like I was ignored.
What do you think would have made the difference in 2004 in that case? Was a licensed medical professional consulted? Is that customary?
That's one thing we didn't do, and there's probably a lot of other things we could have done.
Chief Dave Hall, who was interim chief in 2004, says he didn't see the police report until September 2016. That's when the Indy Star newspaper exposed Nassar. The township says it then heard from Michigan State University.
I think the email said there's 3 victims at this time.
As we've seen in court, that number's grown to at least 250 and has many wondering if all of this heartache could have been prevented had someone listened to Nassar's victims years ago.
We wish we had this one back.
Meridian Township officials say they are training all staff on how to better handle sexual assault accusations and that Breanne Randall Gay is helping with that and other initiatives. The department has also begun reviewing sexual assault cases dating back to the year 2000, and the chief says he will sign off on these types of cases going forward. In the studio, Darren Cunningham, Fox 17 News.
All right, Darren, thank you. Changing gears now, police in Grand Rapids need help in finding this man. They believe he may be connected to a double homicide that left a grandmother and her grandson dead. Tonight, investigators would like to talk to Norman Muhammad Jr. about the deaths of Jermaine Brown and 2-year-old King Talbert. The two found shot at a home on Montgomery Street on the city's southeast side back on the 17th of January. Police say Muhammad is a parole absconder and served some 15 years for attempted murder. They say he is considered armed and dangerous tonight as well. Police in Detroit, meanwhile, shot this man that they say killed 2 people in a planned killing spree today. According to our affiliate in Detroit, around 10:30 a.m. today, Vernest Griffin opened fire at a trucking business in Taylor, killing 1 person. He then drove to another business in Pontiac, where he shot and killed a 2nd person. Police exchanged gunfire with him, eventually striking the suspect. He was taken to the hospital. We're told he is expected to survive.
And new tonight, deputies in Kent County are looking for whoever robbed a Subway this afternoon. It happened at the location in Plainfield Township on West River Drive just after 2:30. Deputies say a man demanded money from the cash register. A weapon wasn't shown, but it was implied. The suspect ran off and a K9 track wasn't able to find him. If you know anything about this case, call that number at the bottom of your screen.
Still to come tonight at 10 o'clock, one of the most important decisions a parent makes, how to educate your child the best way.
Yeah, it's a big one. We spoke with parents and teachers all across West Michigan about homeschooling and how it's changed over the last few years.
And teachers of one local school district doing their part today to fight the flu. We visited Berry County Christian School as teachers are disinfecting the entire building.
Who would want to hurt that little angel? Who would really want to hurt Mujin? What did she ever do?
A family desperate for answers after a 16-year-old was found dead miles away from her home. How they're remembering that local teen tonight.
You're watching Fox 17 News.